The important thing to understand about, I think, the declaration is that when we talk about a declaration at the United Nations, what it means is that this is more of a principle document, meaning it's not an internationally legally binding document. It is something that all governments or all states kind of agree that they need to kind of implement into their home countries. The Universal Declaration became international law in 1966 when they moved it to become a convention. And there was two conventions that were passed at the United Nations. One was on civil and political rights, and one was economic, social, cultural rights. When something becomes a convention, it becomes international law. And what's important about that is that then it becomes a legally binding document by which we as citizens can claim our rights to the states. Because as soon as the government of Canada, for example, in 2016, with the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and Canada agreed and signed on to that Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, it was an agreement that Canada would abide by international law according to this convention. So all the articles that were within the convention are something that the Canadian government agrees to continually work towards. There's this idea of what they call progressive realization of rights at the United Nations, and what that means is that I think there's this understanding that while some rights may be easier to instill into national legislation or into policy, such as the right to vote, other things such as the right to identity or the right to our languages or the right to clean water, things can sometimes take a lot longer for a government to put in place than, say, the right to vote. So that's the important thing to know, is that when we talk about the convention, it is something that Canada is bound to at the international level. And so what I'll talk about today is a little bit about the structures and spaces that we have to kind of claim remedy around human rights. I know that there's an awareness of like the commission, the provincial commission, as well as the federal human rights commission. So when we talk about human rights, when we think about a whole person, when you think about a child, who do you think are those responsible for that child? Parents, so family, kind of wraps around the child. What else? Who's responsible in our society?
Dad.
Dad? Yeah? TV?
Unfortunately, part of it.
Yeah? What about like our education system?
Yeah.
They have responsibilities. They have responsibilities to the child. I know you're joking. It's okay. Our municipal government.
Yes.
Alberta Health Services, our provincial government, our national government. So what you see is like all along the way, from the very core around the child, there are these different actors that are responsible to this child.
And there are still, sorry.
No, go for it, Julie.
And then there are still arguments about how much, what level of government should be allowed to step in over parents' rights, right?
Yes.
Anyway.
So Julie actually really hits on a very kind of important piece, is that I'll kind of maybe roundabout way kind of get to it. So.
Oh, sorry.
No, this is good. This is good.
I've jumped you quite a bit.
This is important.
There we go.
So what that means is that all those kind of layers of responsibility around the child, they are all bound by that Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. So, you know, the school system, the municipality, they all should be abiding by and working towards achieving those rights within the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. What happens when Canada kind of agrees with the United Nations that they're going to abide by this convention is that then they agree to like put it into our national laws. The language the UN uses is universality. No matter who we are, where we're from, our background, our ability, our economic status, whatever, it shouldn't matter. We should be able to live in this world.